Hey babe and babettes, welcome back to version 112 glitches. Now this is an important 112 glitch because this brings us all the way back to something we were able to do in the previous versions, which is transfer the fuse material, the modifier, which for me on this weapon here is attack up plus 10, and the durability from one weapon to any other weapon. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this Royal Guards Claymore, which as you can see is plus 8. It's also a pristine Royal Guards Claymore, so it's very nice to have, but I would much rather have attack up plus 10 on this. So we're gonna make a brand new, fresh Royal Guards Claymore, and in order to do that, we're going to be putting this silver Lionel blade, which is already fused on my mighty Zonite longsword here, along with the attack up plus 10 and the good durability from this weapon onto this. So this is the first way you can do this in 112 successfully. But a little side note, we're not going to be able to do it with the Master Sword, the MSG not found, sadly, okay? We may have another method for this, which is going to be much more complicated and a lot longer to pull off. I will experiment with that a little bit later, but for this video, it's going to be any weapon except for the glitched Master Sword. That's it. So let's show you guys how to do this. First thing you want to do is make sure you have your weapon prepared with all the stuff that you want to move from that weapon to another weapon. We're going to go ahead and drop that puppy right there. Next up, we're going to drop the weapon we want to put all of that stuff onto right there. After that, guys, make sure you have a shield on. Any shield will do. So let's go ahead and put on the Hylian shield as long as it doesn't have a fuse on it. So next up, guys, we're going to hit L and we're going to put on our fuse. We're going to make space as much as possible away from our weapons, just in range where we can actually still do the fuse. And we're going to want to do the fuse trick that we've done a few times before onto the weapon that we want to move the new stats onto, okay? Which I said is my Royal Guards Claymore. Now, in order to pull off this trick, you'll need a little bit of timing, but you'll want to press and hold L and then hit ZL straight after and also hold that. Kind of like this timing here. LZL, like that. And then we're going to hit left on the D-pad as much as possible while we let go of the two bumper buttons like this, and that's going to bring up our shield menu. While still holding this, we can now select another shield, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you arrive to this point in the glitch and you see that something is already fused to your shield, just go ahead and load up your game and try again from the beginning. You're a bit slow on the L and ZL part. However, as you can see up at the glow part near the lamp, my weapon is starting to fuse. It is not fused on my shield, so it's worked. So what we're going to do is change shield here. And what's going to happen is the weapon is in fact going to fuse to my shield. Not that we can see it, but it's also going to drop at my feet, which means we actually just duped it. We duped it. But let me show you here. As you can see, it's there on my shield. It is there on my shield, but it's not here in the overworld. So it's desynced. Next up, we're going to go over here and we're going to drop our shield. Let's go ahead and drop that bad boy right there. We're also going to make sure we have no weapon equipped, but now we're also going to equip another shield, a different shield. Perfect. All right, so now we have to start picking things up in the right order. Go ahead and pick up the Royal Guards Claymore or whatever weapon you want to transfer the new abilities and stuff onto. Bam. Next up, we're going to pick up the shield that we just dropped. Bam. And that's going to remove the weapon from our hands. So far, it's working. Now we're going to pick up the weapon that we want to transfer all the details onto, or from rather. Let's go ahead and pick that up. And voila, we now have a clone, or all the details from my mighty Zonite longsword has gone onto my Royal Guards Claymore Pristine. And as you can see now, I have a 104 damage attack up plus 10 Royal Guards Claymore fused with silver Lionel blade in my hands. That is what we just did. We just messed it up like that. So it's pretty cool like that now. So we've just increased our Royal Guards Claymore's abilities a lot. We only had the regular pristine Royal Guards Claymore about to break, and now it's got its durability back, the same durability that the mighty Zonite longsword had. It's also got plus attack up 10 instead of what it had before, and it's got a free Lionel blade already attached to it as well. So you're going to be able to do this to make all of your weapons plus 10 if you wish, and obviously that is one of the best buffs that you can get, so well worth doing this. Additionally, if you did want to keep your old Royal Guards Claymore, we do in fact still have that on our shield here, which we fused to, so you will absolutely be able to bring this over to Tarrytown and get it unfused if you want to keep yourself another pristine Guards Claymore just as a backup. And Tarrytown is, where is that? We'll go to Tarrytown, and if you've been following my videos so far, once you're in Tarrytown, you'll be able to go and talk to our boy Pelican. Ellison, who is over here on the wooden platform market area. And here, for 20 rupees, we'll bust up all our items that we want to get separated. So let's go talk to this guy. He disassembles all these things, disassembles. We pay our 20 rupees, we can break it down, we can choose what we want to break down. And in this case, if you want, you can break down your guard's claymore and shield so we can get them both back separately. This is just if you want an extra version of the weapon you just started with. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we can pick them up. Perfect. Let's pick our shield up, because I don't want that shield fused to anything actually. And then pick up my guard's claymore, and voila, we now have, whoops, right there we have our original guard's claymore with absolutely nothing on it now actually. It still has its same durability as before we started the glitch, but it does not have any attack up stats or anything like that, or anything fused to it. So we just made that copy and refreshed it here with this one for the glitch. So very cool glitch. You can absolutely do this in 1.1.2. Hopefully you all find it useful. I imagine you will. A lot of people seem to be asking me about this. However, just do keep in mind this is not doable with the glitched Master Sword. Not yet. We may have another very much more complicated method to do that for the Master Sword for people who do have their old Master Sword from the previous versions, if you did follow my videos. And I will try to get that working and see if we can just get a nice version for everyone to be able to do it on video without it being too much of a hassle, too much of a pain to try and get it to work. Because it looks like you will have to do some kind of complicated timing glitches so far, quite a few times, a lot of times actually, in order to get that to work. But I'll see what we can come up with, okay? I'm always keeping my eyes on this stuff. Don't doubt it. Drop a sub if you're new. Do it. And I'll see you guys around the next video. Have a good one. Bye.